Hi, my name is Larry Alverez from Los Angeles, California. I'm here at the Airbrush Getaway in New Orleans. I'm going to teach you how to airbrush a car California style. This is the Mustang 5.0 car that I'm going to draw. You can draw it at any angle. I'm going to reverse it and show you a perspective way on how to draw this. I'm going to take you step by step, starting with the windshield. The windshield always tells you what type of car it is, whether it be a difference from a Mustang, it's really squared, or a Volkswagen where it's more rounded. As I look at my picture, I noticed always find a horizon. The horizon will be about the middle of my car where the front of the hood would be. I start out with my windshield. Depending on what angle you're drawing it on, if it's a side view, your angle of the car, I'm going to face it this direction, would be just like this. If the car was facing right towards you, the angle of the windshield would be this way. I normally have the car leaning in just a little bit, just to give it the characterize like it's fast. When I normally characterize a car, if it's lowered, I normally lower it really low. I slam it on the ground. If it's a four-wheel drive, I put really big balloon tires. Sometimes they're bigger than the car itself. After getting the windshield how I want it, I notice that each corner on my 5.0, they go to a point. They're not rounded anywhere, along with the bottom and the top also. Then I work around the front end, or the outside of the car, looking at the angle of my car that I got, and it comes down in just a slant. Now, of course, if the car was facing right toward me, the length of this line here would be a lot shorter. If it was just a side view of the car, it'd be a lot longer. I mean, we're turning the car like a 3/4 angle. I'm working toward my headlight. Now that I got how far I want the front end to be, I want to kind of match it with the back end. If I go in and do all the detail on the front and I spend too much time on it and I go doing the back end and it doesn't fit on the shirt, then I've wasted too much time on there. So I want to quickly sketch the back out in proportion of how the car is going to be on the front. Now when I characterize a car, I normally do things a little bit larger in perspective, like the mirror here. If I were to do the mirror just like the car is here, it'll be about this big. When I characterize it, maybe I'll make it just a little bit bigger and really make this a lot larger. Now to determine on the angle that I am, I want to work with the door first. If I'm doing a really side angle, the door's going to be a lot larger, and as I get towards the front of the car, it's going to be a lot shorter. I normally draw my cards and I stub them up a little bit. I do my door line. I figure about that's the length of my door. I go over just a little bit. I'm going to make this a convertible. So I want to put the top on it right here. Like that. Now you don't want to make the back end too long, because just like I say, when I cartoon a car, I make everything characterized, I shorten everything up. So instead of going like the picture way back here, I'm going to stub it up a little bit to about right there. Okay, now I got my car from the front and I got the back. I'm going to start working around the middle area. I'm going to go in with got the front outside of the fender, and I'm going to work towards the inside of the car on this fender here. Everything's going to work like a V. Everything's going to be a lot bigger towards the middle, smaller towards the ends. You don't want to go too much or else you're really cartooning them out. Try to get the same angle as this here. If If you look at the line here, you want to be up just a little bit. You don't want to be too low because you want this perspective. You want this mirror light to be bigger than this other on this side. Now if I look at my picture here, I'll sketch my light out a little. Now when you're working on the front end of this car, you don't want everything to be just centered. This light here is going to be a lot larger. The emblem's not going to be directly in the middle. It's going to be over just a little bit because you're working with that angle on that far side. Then I come down here to my bumper. It's a lot smaller on this side, and I kind of bring it down in an angle, make it a little bit larger in front of the car. Now when I look at my car, I want to figure out the horizon that goes in the middle of the car. Now obviously I'm not going to go up this way or down. You kind of go with where you feel the car is like it's balanced, and that's where you find the back bumper. And I'll also work with my front fender. The fender comes out just a little bit, so it's a little bit higher, so I go right up there and bring it straight down. Depending on how flared the fender is, whether I want a real big flare out here or I want a real small flare, this one is kind of medium, not too big. Now rims are really tough to do. When you're looking at your perspective of the car, you don't want it to be a perfect circle, you don't want it too oval. So what I do is I circular, I'm not even drawing on the shirt, and real lightly until I feel comfortable how my tires are going to look. Since we're looking at this angle, the tires are meaty up here and they're a low profile, so I'm going to have on these. So I'm getting close to the rim because they wrap right around the back side of there. Then I bring it down, getting the thickness of how I want my tire, whether I want a low profile down here or a big monster tire. Figure about right there is fine. The seats on these are normally a little low. It's characterized, so I'm going to bring them up a little bit. Bring the back seat up around here. Now, very important, when you do the door lines, tells you the roundness of the car. I'm not going to go straight down because that would tell me that I have a flat car. I'd want it rounded a little bit by looking at your picture. It rounds off toward the top. Then I got this lip right here, so I want to go around it. That's how your doors are going to open. Then you tuck it in just a little bit. Now if there's a deep rim that they have on their car, exaggerate a little bit. Normally it'll be right here if it's a deep rim. I'm going to make it really deep here. The farther this line is, the deeper it is. Your rim. Put a little cap on it. There's the basic rough draft of the car before I start airbrushing it. Started with the windshield, getting a perspective of it. It's a lot smaller on this side, and this side's a little bit larger. Bring it down, I work around the front of the hood, down the light, and get the bumper. Get the front of the car working on the outside, in. Then I jump over from my mirror, figure out how big the door is, put your lines there. The back in the car, how long you want it. If it's a side view, of course, it'd be a lot longer. Just outline it. I normally outline my cars in black. When you're doing one that's photorealistic, maybe you want to outline on the color of the car. If it's a white one, of course, you want a background behind it to really punch it out. I outline all my lines in black, and I come in with color. Rims are normally hard to do. The reason why I put this line here, it identifies that the tire is tucked in. It gives it shadow off the fender well. Only darken everything in there. I don't go into too much detail on doing inside the fender well. You can see how low I put it by determining how thick my line is down here. Put some center lines on here. want it darker towards the bottom of the tire to show the roundness of it. I'd shade it in just a little bit. I don't want to keep it white, or I don't want to darken it all the way. Little air vent here on the side of the car. I want to shadow just a little bit of the car on the bottom, show the roundness of it. I'm gonna jump over here. I'm going to do a shadow on the glass, on the front glass here. This glass is rounded, and it rounds on the other edge, so I'm going to put a shadow here. There's the roundness of it. And I'm going to go the angle of the far end here. On this side. There's going to be a glare on the windshield there. On this side, I'm going to tint it down just a little bit. Now the old style lights, like the old Fords and stuff, I normally would put grits on my front lights. But the other one is just a little fade. A little color up on top for shadow. I'm gonna put like little shadows on the body right here. All right, there's a basic outline of the car. Now I just run what color, I'm gonna paint it red. And when you're doing photorealistic, you try to get everything you want to get, all the tree, whatever the reflection is behind it. I don't do that, I just do it as if there was just a sun back there, a nice sunny blue day, and I make my own horizons. And how I do that, I pretend the sun is right behind the car. I get a reflection off my windshield. Bring it up on the hood. And I'll fade this up towards the windshield. And keeping a light up there so you get a reflection. You want to paint it all red. Then you go around the hood right here. This is where the hood goes down, so I want to make it a little bit darker. Another horizon. At this point, I'm going to fade everything up. I'm not going to go all the way right up to the top. So if you look at a car, normally it almost looks white. I'm just going to fade it up just so it looks really glossy and smooth. I'll work on my bumper. Here's the roundness of the bumper about right here. I'm going to keep it lighter. Make sure your airbrush is always cleaned at all times so you can keep a real clean line. Sometimes you get something clogged up on the tip, just clean it off a little bit with your nails and continue on. I go over here to the side of my car, or maybe let's say we'll do this wing here, this arm. Now I gotta get a horizon here. It goes right along the side of the car. I normally do it right in the middle of the body, but when you hit the fender, the flare here, you don't want to bring it straight into it. You want to curve it just a little bit. And I normally use these dagger strokes to keep it real clean. There ain't no in particular type of background. You should make the horizon here. When I do the whole car, I'm not going to do a section at a time. I want to do the whole car at once, keeping the paint really smooth. Find a horizon in it also. Keeping the lighter on top because it rounds off. And it gets the glare of the sun up on top. And go all the way across the car. Instead of just leaving the car, just leaving it red, I'm gonna put some pink into it. So really tighten everything up. I could just leave it like this and leave the white in, but you could come back later with the white paint and do your highlights. The pink will make it look really glossy and smooth. I just really lightly put it over the white areas. Also get a little bit on the red so it can make like a nice cherry color. So it'll blend in with the pink. I'm going to get some reflections now. I do a reflection off the windshield. Just a little bit of blue, real lightly. Just to the inside of the black lines that I got here. This also will just kind of fade down, really smooth. Get a glare off your lights. Just a little bit on the mirrors. I do put a little bit of blue on my tires, or purples, The way I do that, it makes it look like it's armored, really shiny, reflection of the sky because they're really wet look. And when you do a reflection on rim, make sure that the sky is up here, up above. So the rim on the outside, the deep dish, the blue is going to be toward the bottom of it. And the reflection on the bottom, if it's brown, then you do the opposite, put the brown on this side. Now, since the rim is flat, you want the blue on the upper part above the horizon. This will be below to reflect the sky up above. Or gray seats with the black top will look nice. All I'm doing here is outlining it with an orange. I'm going to fade it in a little bit. I want to come in and highlight this now. I'm going to highlight the rims, make them really shiny. I'm going to highlight anything that's round and anything that you would think that a shine would come out, like these edges here, my fender wells along the horizon. Maybe shine it up a little bit. My horizon. In the reflection of the windshield, a little shine there. Makes this paint really glossy on the car. I like my windshield. Normally put a couple streaks going the angle of this far side. And once you got a car there, you got to come up with some sort of background, whether you want it real graphic. If you wanted a California beach scene on there, you put a couple palm trees along with the lettering. I think I might go with a graphic type background, like a triangle or a rectangle of some sort. I put it inside this triangle. I'll put the sky scenery up here, down to some nice sunny blues and yellows. It's a real dark nighttime scene up on top. Keeping it real tight around the car. Closer material, you don't want to overspray on your car. Real smooth, fade it up. I'm gonna blend my blue and pink together, make me a little, like a purple. And right down and make this yellow into an orange. When you see a brown, you see reflections of brown like the dirt down here. I normally do it either in purples, even a blues. I'll do green like I am going to do right now. Just so it looks like that new wave look. I like the square stand out a little bit. What I'm going to do is put a shadow right behind it. Maybe I'll do a few colors of shadows. I'll do purple. And another shadow with pink. Maybe a little yellow to wrap it up. Right on down real small. Right around the car. So everything gets all tied in. My scenery, I'm going to put just a little bit of clouds. Kind of going from a daytime scene to a night scene, maybe a sparkling star up here. Now we got to get some lettering on here. Write 5.0 Mustang. And little stars over here. Now to finish up my artwork, I normally put like a trendy line. It's like a Sigma that I normally do. Which is a squiggle. And shadow it. All that's remaining is maybe little highlights on the numbers up here. I gotta turn on the fog lights real quick. The car does not have to always look like just the car on the picture. When we draw them, we characterize them just a little bit. My name is Larry Alverez in New Orleans. Happy airbrushing.